Russia is taking new steps in its war in Ukraine. It says it will cut off supplies of natural gas to 2 NATO countries. ABC's Ika Jachi has the latest.
More violence erupting in Ukraine. Explosions overnight in the coastal city of Odessa. ABC News confirming this video posted online showing smoke pouring into the sky after a strike on a bridge near the small town of Zatoka. Ukrainian officials say Russia is trying to cut off the southeast portion of Ukraine from the rest of the country. Also, reports of explosions in Belgorod, Russia, less than 20 miles from the border with Ukraine. As for Ukraine's defenses, officials say a majority of its airspace is still controlled by Kyiv, after they say Russian forces failed to fully destroy its air defenses. Russia, however, now engaging in other forms of aggression. A memo from the state-controlled Russian gas giant Gazprom says it has cut natural gas deliveries to Poland and Bulgaria, 2 NATO member countries, because they refuse to pay in Russian rubles, a stipulation President Putin has been demanding for weeks. Poland's prime minister responding, saying we will be able to protect our economy, protect households and Poles against such a dramatic step by Russia. On Tuesday in Moscow, Putin meeting with the United Nations Secretary General. The UN saying an agreement had been reached in principle to evacuate civilians from the steel plant in Mariupol, but previous agreements to evacuate the civilians have repeatedly failed. State Department spokesperson Ned Price says the embassy team traveled to Lviv in order to continue their close collaboration with Ukrainian partners. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Students in Idaho Falls School District 91 are showing their love and support for children fleeing Ukraine. These pieces of art are headed to the Poland-Ukrainian border to be handed out to child refugees. It all started when District 91 board member Paul Hackey went to the border in March and saw the effect a simple picture had on kids. When he got back home, he got in touch with Superintendent James Shank about getting students involved.
They were just standing in line with basically what they were wearing, and he would hand them a picture and tell them that it was from a student in the United States. And they would look at that picture and they would just start smiling and they would just stare at it. And I thought of that. I just thought that is amazing how we can communicate in so many different ways. And one of them is through artwork.
Hackey says he's very excited to take the hundreds of pieces of art and hand them out at the border control line. He also plans on visiting several elementary schools and handing out the artwork there as well.